Hey guys, what is going on? We are back and this is going to be your map guide for Mayhem, the brand new map in Vanguard Season 3, which I think is a very cool addition to the game. If you love close quarters engagements and just close range combat all around, you're going to absolutely love this map. This, in my opinion, is definitely better than Dust House, just simply for the aesthetic alone. I think this is just a fantastic close range map getting added to the game. So as usual, we're going to start off with our little flags here. As you can see, this is the C flag over near this destructible style of building. This lovely film set, man. I just think this is such a cool vibe for a map. Moving towards the middle of the map, as you can see, there is another destructible building there. As you can shoot through that and it'll just blow up. Like as you a little tap and you can create lines of sight based on that. And there's another one there, and we'll point them out when we do see them. In the B flag in the middle, you can see this is towards the bridge, and you can see it also drops towards this side as well. A lot of people do sit in this area and the other side to sort of stop people from moving around in the middle area. There is another line of sight. That is a particularly important part of the map, and again, we'll get into talking about it in just a second after we move on from the flags. And then you rotate all the way back around this side. You can't shoot that box there. It looks like you can, but you can't. Then the A flag, of course, on the other side of the map. Very simple locations for the flag, as you can expect. So the first location on this map that I do want to point out here is probably one of the most powerful that you can hold. You really can do a lot of good things in the middle of the map here. Of course, you can stop people from coming towards the C flag, or from the C flag rather, especially if you do knock this out of the way. Give it a little shot. You do have a line of sight that looks all the way back into sort of that little corridor that come from the C flag. Of course, you do look towards the people who get onto the B flag area from the little drop down bit, as you can see as well. You can, for the most part, jump up in this area here and look towards the B flag in that area. More importantly though, you can defend this one as well. As you can see, this is a very common spot for people to get into combat in. I mean, like, this is one of the most locations where you will take shots from, so just keep that area in mind. But more importantly, again, you can stop people from moving towards, like, from the A flag. A lot of people do spawn in that area back down there, and again towards the A flag because it is a spawn. So you can stop them almost capping the A flag from this area here. You can't really see the actual thing. You can see half of it on either side, which I think is good map design because that's blocked off from either side. And then again, you can stop people walking up this laneway here because when they do spawn in this area, I'll show you from the other side. When they do spawn in this area here, they will idly just move into this area as well. And if they're looking towards the A flag, or they're trying to go down that alleyway, or even if they turn the corner a little less quickly than you think, you get an easy shot on them from this location here. So this is one of the most important and powerful parts of the map. A very nice position to hold if you are sort of playing for the spawns, going on those longer streaks on this map, which is a little tricky because this is, again, a quite small map. Another cool thing about this area here is the bridge bit. You can actually jump out onto here and there's no punishment for it. Again, this is quite a nice, tricky little spot. If you are in the right circumstance, you can use this to sort of take somebody by surprise who is coming from that side there, or even the other side as well does work. But again, because it is basically exposed to the middle area of the map, if you got like a teammate in that area there, another teammate there, for example, and you have the B flag, you can use this to sort of control the A side spawn, or even the C side spawn down this side as well. But again, as I said, if you're not controlling the B flag, this is not a good spot because, I mean, you're literally just sitting in the middle of the open. You can just get shot very easily there. Another common spot for a lot of people to sit is on these boxes here and this barrel spot back here as well, because looking towards this line of sight, you're looking at it and you're like, yep, this is where you want to sit to sort of get people who are moving through the C side spawn up down those stairs and then up these stairs and then come into this area here. You get a nice little shot on them. But again, because you are sort of a sitting duck here, the only thing that is available to be shot is basically your upper torso and head, which in this game we know is a very weak. Like, you're just going to get shot and you're going to die if you're in a spot like this. I mean, you can sort of use this sort of crouch in and out and then take somebody by surprise. Most of the time you will have the advantage on them. But if you're just sitting here for a long time, people will just start pre-firing this area and you will get killed very easily. So just keep this in mind. Maybe get a kill here, maybe get 2 kills here, and then say move up to the post. And then again, take a different location, and then move up again. Move up to the right-hand side of this box here and sort of use this area as well. Again, you can sort of see towards the C flag if you do sit up here, but again, you're exposed from behind a little bit, which is not ideal, but you can, again, move out of this area quite quickly after getting a kill. Move towards the C flag, move up the stairs, sit on this box here. Another cool little spot that you can take advantage of is actually jumping on top of this, and people do not look up in this game. I swear people cannot do this. Like, they are incapable of looking up. Especially if they do come around the corner like this, they're just sort of looking in this area here. They come around this side and they're like, oh yeah, where's the enemy? And then you go bang, and you're sitting up here, you get an easy kill on them. But more importantly, jumping out of this area, if you do go on top of this, you can see, like, you have a nice little line of sight towards people who are sitting on there. And again, if you do take an off angle like this, you are very likely to be able to get a kill on somebody. You do have the advantage there because, I mean, they're going to be aiming down here, they're going to be aiming at this spot, and they're going to be aiming at that spot there. So they might not expect you to come from this side, so you can sort of jump up here and hold a little peek. Come on, get the angle right. We can hold a little peek there, and you just get a nice shot on people who do spawn back there, because again, that's a spawn as well. Another one on this side of the map, as you can see, this is a destructible little box here. We'll chuck the grenade in there, and it will disappear, which is very, very cool. You can break the entire thing down, which I think is very, very sweet. I'm imagining you can do the same thing for this side as well. We just get the box out, we take this out, and we sort of hit the grenade again on that thing, just disappears, which makes it a little bit more open. But again, you can really control this area of the map from this area again, as we did mention earlier. So moving around to the seaside again, you can see all the little tiny cars, all the little tiny people. I think this is just such a cool vibe for a map. We move around into this side as well. We move on to the right hand side of the map, which is the structure style bit in the metal-y sort of work bit. I don't know what you'd call this area. I guess it's called structure. As you can see, there is like a weird alien monster, Godzilla type thing in the back. I just love this, and it's so cool. Anyway, as we were saying, you can sort of hold this area. I believe there is a hard point in this location here. If people are moving around this side of the map, you get a nice easy shot on them from that side. And again, you can pick them off. You just get the toolbox. Come on, brother, move. You can sort of pick them off from that side as well. But you do, of course, have to be wary of the fact that people run around that side and they run around that side as well. So you got to have to pick and choose your poison here, whichever side you want to gamble on. You sort of have the advantage on people walking around this pillar. A spot that I do not recommend sitting in is this one back here. This will work sometimes, but because it does have a wall at the back here where you can bounce grenades and stuff off, people usually will just chuck them from like there, and they'll try and hit the back wall. And eventually, if you are sitting in this spot here, you'll take a lot of damage, because I mean, people just hate people sitting in this area. But you can hold this area. You really can hold the left-hand side of this post very easily. You do have to expose yourself a little bit more, but you do have a little bit more distance on the line of sight there. Another spot back here, of course, you sit on this side and you can hold the right-hand side, but you're a little bit easy to hold the left. You don't have to expose yourself as much as that side. And again, you can stop people from moving in this area as well. Good thing about this map is that it is really not too complicated. For the most part, it's quite small, and there's not super long lines of sight or anything like that. And if you are interested in the close range stuff, this is going to be the map for you. Again, there's a lot of these pillars and stuff. I believe this is chipboard that you can just shoot through. Yeah, you can see the bullets getting through the target like that. We don't have bullet holes active because my computer is a potato. So moving again, we can see the area back there towards the A flag style water bridgey bit spawn, and a lot of people do spawn back there, and you will get into gunfights an awful lot in this area. Most of the gunfights that you will take are on little people's heads that are just sitting and poking up over that area there. This is a very, very common spot to sort of get into a gunfight, so just keep this in mind. You do have to hit a headshot, you do have to hit an upper torso shot to likely to kill, because the enemy will very much be likely to be doing the same thing. This is just sort of what happens in this area of the map. Again, happens on this side as well. It's a little bit different here. You don't have to look there. You do not, under any circumstances, have to check that, like, this spot here. Just, I'll show you from the other side. You are incapable... You are incapable of jumping up there, meaning you are incapable of getting into this area here. Like, there is no way you can pull that off. So this is not a spot you have to check. This is really only used for jumping over the top and then maybe jumping onto that to get a nice little shot on somebody there. You do not have to check this spot, man. Just, I cannot stress this enough. A lot of people do sit in this area here over on these stairs, and they will look towards this and be like, oh man, I gotta check this spot as well. You do not have to check this spot. The only way people can get from that side, the watery painted bit, over to the A flag is these stairs. And again, you can hold them on this spot here, you can hold them in this spot here, but again, you do have to take a gunfight here, and you will have to get into a headshot war. You can't climb on this thing, which is a little sad. Like, I wish there was just a little bit more of things that you could climb on in this map. There's a little bunkery spot back here again, so if you are sitting waiting for like a long shot style kill, just sort of waiting for people's heads to peek up, again, this is another spot where you can just like hoik grenades back down there, and they will bounce off the wall, and again, you will take damage back there, so it's like a little bit of a bowl area. This is a little bit less like that because, I mean, it doesn't have a high wall on it. It's just got a little bit of a barrier there. But again, if you are sitting in this area here, very similar sort of line of sight, you will take some grenade damage again, just because people will bounce them off here and you will take a little bit of damage. Again, you can sort of stop people from moving from the A flag. I've gotten a number of kills just sort of laying down in this area here. You are very exposed from the right-hand side, but if your team do have this under control, so they have the B flag and the C flag, and you're just waiting for people to spawn at the A flag, they will typically spawn over in this area here, back there, and they'll come up on the A flag, and they will walk into you just sort of laying down here. So keep this spot in mind, it's very powerful. But again, use these spots sort of semi-frequently and then move away from them, because if you do sit in this area the entire time, people just chuck grenades, they pre-fire you, and so on. So speaking about moving through this area here as well. If we do take a look at this spot, say you come from the B flag and you're sort of moving into this area here. Typically, you do not want to move down from the stairs. You will always have the advantage on somebody who is sitting in this spot here, especially if you just jump over it straight away. You just go like this. You sort of just mantle over the top of it. You'll have the advantage on people who are sitting in this area here. A lot of people will just expect you to come up over the stairs. So again, just take advantage of where people expect you to be least. Like, people will just expect you to walk down those stairs. So don't do it. Don't make it easier for them. Jump up on here and they can take a kill on somebody. People usually spawn down here and they're just sort of idly walking around looking at the longer line of the site. And you can get an easy kill on somebody sitting there. Maybe somebody sitting behind the barrel and somebody sitting on this box here. You move up and you jump over the top and then you take this area as well. You can sort of hold this as well. It doesn't happen super often where people are back here and you're getting into a gunfight like that, so just keep that in mind. Somebody might sprint past there, they might jump over the top and they might run behind that box, so then you have to take a gunfight there. But again, it doesn't happen super lots. But realistically, as I said, this map is not super complicated. You can take a little bit of an off angle here, but again, you're very exposed standing on something like this, so I typically wouldn't recommend it too much. But realistically, that's pretty much it with this map. I really like the vibe more than anything else out of this map. This is just a very, very cool aesthetic for a map. I love the jungle sort of thing over there. Like the other set, it's like a swampy, foresty kind of thing back there. I really do think this is one of the cooler maps they've added to the game. I just love when Call of Duty goes a bit weird, goes a bit wild. I mean, I love the sort of war stuff as well. Like your typical sort of jungle style fare, your Pacific style, you know what I'm talking about, like the regular sort of war stuff. And then something like this comes up and you're like, yeah, I love this stuff too. I think it's very, very exciting. But for the most part, this map's not super complicated. There's not super difficult lines of sight. It's pretty uncomplicated. You get your SMG, you get your shotgun, you get your assault rifle, you rush around everywhere and you have a good time. Actually, we'll talk about this spot a little bit. You can lay down here and you can stop people from moving from the C flag, but it is a little cheesy there. So again, don't use this spot super lots. And again, the same goes on the other side. You can sort of sit in between these trees and you'll be a little bit difficult to spot. But again, just because you're exposed from sort of a couple angles here and you're very grenade prone, because this is basically just a hallway where grenades can bounce off, don't use this spot too often as well. But again, thank you very much for watching this one. If this map guide did help you out at all and you are liking Mayhem as much as I am, make sure you hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. I do very much appreciate it and it really does help me out. And again, if you hit that subscribe button, hopefully that means I will see you in the next video. Bye!